Hello and welcome to 21st Century. I'm Daljit Dhaliwal.
Bonjour et bienvenue dans 21e siècle. Je suis Charlotte Legris de la Salle.
各位好，我是第一财经的主持人刘烨，欢迎收看21世纪。
For centuries, the tiny Himalayan kingdom of Bhutan has been cloaked in mysteries as dense as the clouds that swirl around its towering peaks. Up in the Himalayas, the glaciers are melting due to climate change, and Bhutan is facing a potential calamity. As the glaciers melt, lakes are forming within the glaciers themselves. There are more than 2,600 glacial lakes in Bhutan, and with the increase in the meltwater, some are in imminent danger of bursting.
In Mozambique, there are 9 million children under the age of 15. According to the United Nations, more than 500,000 of them are orphans whose parents died of HIV and AIDS. It's a typical sight here in the Chinese countryside. Women working the field and preparing meals for their family. But it's rare to find 41-year-old Peng Wei Ling in her kitchen. She has little time for domestic chores. That's because Peng is busy in a very different kind of role, that of Communist Party secretary for her village. She was elected 4 years ago, the first time ever that a woman in her province attained such a leadership position. Nestled in the hills of Bosnia, amid the bucolic scenery and tranquil life, lies Foča, a town with a dark and troubled past. It was April 1992. In a campaign of ethnic cleansing, Serb forces moved to seize land they claimed was theirs, killing mainly Muslims and Croats who opposed.
I can still hear the walls crying out to the echoes of mothers and children pleading and begging not to be taken.
What happened to this woman, Unisa Salcinovic, is the story of pain, loss, and memories so horrific they last a lifetime. The story of how the trauma of war can haunt its victims long after the brutality has stopped. Anti-apartheid leader Nelson Mandela was elected president, ushering in a new era for South Africa.
Every 5 seconds, someone somewhere develops diabetes. The illness is exploding at staggering rates, and perhaps nowhere more so than in the Gulf region.
Education here often comes at a cost. Although the government funds most public schools and tries to provide enough supplies, many students must pay for their lunches, their uniforms, even their books. Provisions in the classroom are often scarce.
If you don't have the book, join your friend who has one. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Printing options are limited in the country. Shipping costs are extremely expensive. And many of Ghana's roads are so bad that trucks carrying the books frequently break down. 2 or 3 students often have to share one book. Most classrooms have only half the texts they need. This is the story of 2 men and a nation's long-delayed quest for justice. It all began in the 1970s. Southeast Asia was in turmoil. The Vietnam War was winding down, but civil war raged in neighboring Cambodia. On April the 17th, 1975, the communist Khmer Rouge seized power. Some 3.5 million Nepalese don't have enough food to eat. And nearly half of all children here are chronically malnourished.